Hello and welcome to Ednews TV. I'm Jalalzada Mahammadali. Today we are going to talk about the bilateral relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan, border conflict, influence of Pakistani Taliban in these relations, and the role of OIC solving this problem. We are joined to well-known geopolitical analyst Malik Ayyub Khan. Mr. Malik, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
The first question is that what are the main reasons behind the recurring tensions along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border?
Actually, the relation between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it's not a one-day story because this relations, it's started from the 1980s when we saw the disintegration of the USSR by a joint project. I mean that at that time, this Taliban's and the Mujahideen. I mean, who created these Mujahideen? First question is this: who had this project? So, I mean that it's not a one-day story. It's several decades, and in these several decades, Afghanistan becomes a proxy hub. Mean that the international and the regional powers they used Afghanistan as a land to destabilize the different regions, and because Afghanistan was a fertile land to harbor different kinds of the regime change and different kind of the proxies in terms of the security. So it's a long story, but currently when we saw that why the relation between Pakistan and Taliban are quite tense, so there are different reasons. So first the reason is this, that because Pakistan and India, they are mean that the arch rival, and both countries have a very strong enmity. So mean that the inclined relations of the Taliban towards India, not the Taliban, but even the previous government of Ashraf Ghani, they were also very close to India. So, mean that in that terms, the relation make it more complex. But if we saw the right now, what is the scenario? So, after Taliban took power, there have been different developments that unfolded, and because at that time Pakistan believed, and Pakistan actually given an impression to the international powers that Pakistan have a very strong control on Taliban's, but actually it was not, because we saw that the international powers they directly talk with Taliban's, whether it is Russia, whether it is United States. We saw Doha that enter into in this dialogue. So the world start talking Taliban's directly, despite many countries don't have any diplomatic ties, but still I mean, they have the communication channel. But more recently, when we saw the tense relation between Taliban and Pakistan, so that we saw that if we see that the timeline of these tense relation, so it become more bitter after the Donald Trump statement to take over the Bagram air base. So I think that the Taliban refused that Bagram air base because that is not only a problem for I mean that the regional powers, but there are many other countries in the region for which Taliban share border. There is Russia, there is Iran. So these countries have severe reservations on Bagram air base that should be given to I mean that United States. So that is the relations. But overall, the tense relation between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it has not one factor. There are many factors that involved.
My second question, how would you characterize the current state of Pakistan-Afghanistan relations, especially in terms of security cooperation and mutual trust?
I mean, currently, I mean that both sides accused each other of the intervention. Taliban's accused Pakistan, and Pakistan accused the Taliban's of the interventions. So the trade has been stopped between both the countries because most of the trade from Pakistan goes to Afghanistan, and Pakistan also mean that all the Afghan immigrants, Pakistan sent them back. I mean, they are going back. There are very few Talibans. Mean that there are few Afghan nationals who are right now in Pakistan. So the trade is stopped, and Afghanistan is trying the other finding other countries as a trade partner because most of the medicines now comes from because Pakistan provides a big medicines from Pakistan that goes to Afghanistan, but now they have other alternate options. So Afghanistan is also finding alternate partners rather than to be engaged with Pakistan. So the distrust level between Pakistan and Afghanistan is increasing, and there is not in future we don't see that there should be any kind of this consent or consensus between both countries, despite the different countries are trying, like the Muslim countries who are trying to negotiate between both the countries. But I think that the things behind the scene are more complex what it looks apparently.
How has the presence of Pakistani Taliban in Afghanistan influenced Pakistan's security and diplomatic approach?
I mean that Taliban's they said that this they call Pakistan security failure when something happened in Pakistan. The Taliban's say that there are many other countries that share border with Afghanistan, but there is not any kind of such kind of the activities. So the blame game and the accusations from both sides is quite high. Rather than this TTP, I think that TTP is not now active in Pakistan. It has a very, I mean that the more than 2 decades they have this proxy kind of intervention in Pakistan. Pakistan accused TTP, and Pakistan several times blamed India behind this proxy. So that is a proxy war, and so there is not any final words that what's going on the scene, and how these proxies are becoming a major security threat to the countries.
What role can the OIC realistically play in facilitating the resolution of this conflict between two states?
I think OIC, I mean that is not the organization who has anything like binding effect. I mean, it's a very ineffective organization. They don't have any saying. So OIC is just like they can meet and gathered into some very good atmosphere and just enjoy their trips there. So OIC has only this mandate. This is the most, I think, that incompetent organization in the world that is unfortunately representation of the Muslim country. So that is a shame. So OIC has no mandate and they has no power, and they did not solve any other conflict. How they can solve this thing that is not their priority?
My last question is, what role does Turkey play in Afghanistan-Pakistan conflict, and what is the role of influencing both sides as a interstate mediator?
I think Qatar and Turkey both played previously. They have both meetings there, but there is not any sort any major comes out, or there is not anything comes out major from both meetings. So I mean that Turkey has I mean some role that they can play, but of course who will be the guarantor? The problem between Pakistan and Afghanistan is this, that who could be a big guarantor, who give the guarantee to both parties that there will be not something happened. The guarantees to Taliban and also give the guarantee to Pakistan. So I think that the country, I don't think so. Turkey is also in a position that they can give some guarantees to both countries and they have a control on this, because there are much more big international players involved in this stage. So I think that Turkey can also do some diplomatic channels, but I don't think so it could be very much fruitful.
Mr. Malik, thank you for joining us today. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.